What's good, Fin Nation? What's good? It's your boy Reason. We're back here for another one. Pardon my voice, pardon my whole demeanor. I'm a little sick. The daughter came home a couple days ago from daycare with a cold, and now I have the cold, so it's terrible over here. But I hope everyone is having a fantastic evening. I hope your Tuesday evening is going good. Tomorrow and Thursday, the Dolphins start their joint practices with the Atlanta Falcons. Today was just a simple walkthrough, so we'll get into that. Dude, just starting off quick. Nick said I saw Kerryon Johnson got waived. I would not touch Kerryon Johnson right now. So, in talking with someone connected with the Eagles, I was told today that Kerryon Johnson basically looks washed. The exact verbiage that was used to me was he looks cooked. So he didn't have that explosion, didn't have that burst to his game before he got injured. So that's why they cut him. Kerryon Johnson, and he's injured too. So I wouldn't go after him. So personally, after what I was told by my hookup with the Eagles. So Chaos Fins, I'm not going to tell you this is a good offensive tackle. So we'll get into that. I got a couple clips to show you of him. It just sucks right now because the All-22 is down for NFL Game Pass. So I had to scramble, but I found some stuff, and I'll be able to show you guys some Greg Little stuff. Let's we're going to get into, even though it was the walkthrough, there are some stuff to go over today. We'll go over that. We're going to go over the roster cuts. We're going to go over Greg Little. And yeah, we got a couple things to go over. I don't know how long I'll be going tonight because I'm not feeling overly well. And tomorrow and the day after, there's actually going to be like a lot of news to discuss, right? So I don't want to push it tonight. But we're going to get into things. Don't worry. If I'm feeling up to it, I'll open it up for a little bit. If not, so be it, right? All right. So let's start off with, first of all, I got to start off with a lot of you Josh Rosen truthers. Let's get the non-Dolphin stuff out of the way. All of you Josh Rosen truthers that cried, moped, that pouted when he was let go. Oh, he didn't get a fair chance. All that crap we were hearing from all y'all. And the 49ers, I told all of y'all that he went to San Francisco because that's where his girlfriend is. He went away to literally his football career to wither and die. And lo and behold, it's almost officially dead. Josh Rosen has officially... Dude, this guy didn't even make it past the first round of cuts. Josh Rosen is officially waived. He even mentioned recently enough he wasn't getting enough reps in practice. Dude, I'm sorry. This guy has... I told y'all when we had him, people tried to attack me, tried to say, oh, he's good, give him a chance. Well, he's now moving from practice squad to practice squad, and now he's getting waived from practice squads. It does not get any worse than this. I told everyone the tape did not lie. The tape does not lie. The tape does never lie to me, ever. And the pushback I got when I was on TD Fins Talk to over here, the tape don't lie. Josh Rosen is trash. Josh Rosen has been disposed of and thrown. He's not even in the recycling bin anymore. He's been totally disposed of and thrown in the waste bin. And it's a beautiful thing. Me and EM are laughing our face off. Talk about bust. This guy is the definition of a bust. And not the good kind of bust that goes in Canton, Ohio. This guy is a legitimate bust. And all these people out here on YouTube, oh, we got our guy. Oh, he's a starter. Well, you got some egg on your face. I told y'all before, and I'll tell you again. Any of you who backed up the Josh Rosen narrative, I don't ever want to hear you speak on the quarterback position because you've lost all credibility, and your credibility is officially dead as of August 17th, 2021. It's over, ladies and gentlemen. It's over. The Vince Carter dunk. It's over. This guy is going to be playing in a flag football league within a couple weeks. And it's absolutely hilarious that so many people got in their feelings, feeling such a way. Like the tape did not lie. After the shoulder surgery, the bad habits were exposed because before the shoulder surgery in UCLA, he could be late on reads, lazy with his reads, and he could make the throw because he had a cannon. After the shoulder surgery, he no longer had the cannon, and he never kicked the habit of his late reads. And it was over. It was done. So look for Josh Rosen coming to a schoolyard near you for flag football or a pickup league because he ain't going to be anything more than that now. The CFL don't even want his ass. And then he probably going to get released by the flag football team he joins. He probably won't even make it to the regular season, let's be honest. So, good night, goodbye. We'll never, ever, 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 ever see him in the NFL again, starting a game. Thank God. Sorty, stop stirring the pot. Don't make me cancel you from YouTube. Someone already tried to cancel you on Twitter today. So goodbye, Josh Rosen. You remember this guy with his little post-draft conference where he said he was going to be better than Brady and he's going to make all those teams regret on passing him. Put the cart before the horse, didn't you there, Josh? Didn't you? Now you might be pumping my gas at a full-serve Esso gas station up the street for me. Fill the tank, sir. Goodbye. Josh Rosen, instead of pump faking footballs and then throwing bombs, he's going to be pumping my gas. Maybe he'll be making my pizza at Pizza Hut. I don't know. So there you go. Josh Rosen, the saga is officially dead and over. Thank God. And good luck getting hired as a coach, Josh. Because I know I would never hire you as a quarterback coach. I would hire a successful high school player before I hired you. No offense. All right. And for all of you that are members, throw your Josh Rosen emojis in the jacuzzi. Throw those in the comment section right now. You already know what time it is, man. Because this jabroni, it's done. We never have to listen to it ever again. Thank you, God. We keep winning out here. I don't know what else to say, man. The saga has concluded. Josh Rosen is no more. Absolutely. Hallelujah. Praise the Lord. Praise the Lord. All right. Now, that said, let's get into some other stuff. We got a ton of other stuff to go over. Let me hit that. Let me hit that one time though. Those emojis. Gotta drop those emojis. He went from the chosen Rosen to forgotten Rosen. It only took a couple years. Beautiful. What a bust. All right. Enough of that jabroni of the week. All right. It's over. Goodbye, Josh. Don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Let's talk about Greg Little. Now, personally, I know people are like, oh, low risk, high reward. I don't think there's much reward to be gained from this, in my opinion. The Panthers traded Greg Little to the Miami Dolphins for a 2022 7th round pick. Now, I got a lot of things to go over with this thing. I got some clips for you guys regarding Josh Rosen, Sorry, Josh Rosen, I'm still there. Regarding Greg Little. Now, at Ole Miss, he only allowed, I think, 4 blown blocks during his time at Ole Miss. He is actually who replaced Laramie Tunsil at Ole Miss. I think for his size, he has pretty good feet. He's very weak at the point of attack. He has good size and length to his body, good bend and hip flexibility. His hands usage in terms of placement and punch is not very good. He's got serious issues with his pad level. He's not a good run blocker by any stretch of the imagination. He's basically another project that Flores thinks he can probably get the most out of. Let's put it all in this way. Do I think does he offer more than Austin Jackson? No. Would I want him taking snaps away from Larnell Coleman? No. Okay, he's played his whole career at left tackle. He's never played right tackle. He's just not very good. He had a lot of holes in his game coming out, but because of his size and his length and his feet, you knew NFL teams were going to fall in love with him. Second round pick, 37th overall, I believe. Now, in the last 2 seasons at the NFL level, he's played 358 reps, blocking reps. 232 of those were pass blocking reps. All right. All at left tackle. Out of those 232 pass blocking reps, 221 were opportunities for pressure. Out of those 221 opportunities, he allowed 24 pressures. He allowed 19 hurries, 2 hits, and 3 sacks. So almost at a 10% clip, just under. It's about like 8%. Last year, he allowed 6 pressures. He allowed 5 hurries and 1 hit, 0 sacks. The year before that, 18 pressures, 14 hurries, 1 hit, and 3 sacks. Last year, he only had 83 reps, though. The year before that, he had 138. He's just not very good. And my issue with this is it's Isaiah Wilson all over again. It's let's get a reclamation project and see if we can turn the kid's career around. We all know what's destined to happen next year. They're going to be right back there drafting O-line, and they're going to probably be right back there whiffing on them. I'm at the point where why are you giving up a 7th rounder for a project when this is an issue? No matter what, whoever is telling you this is not an issue right now in terms of the tackles doesn't know what the hell they're talking about. This is an issue right now, okay? And all you did was go out and add a depth player to replace Fluker. You might be able to, I think you can make the argument Fluker's better than him. I think you can definitely make that argument and win. All right? Greg Little is not very good. Period. Point blank, period. He's not very good. Why are we being so lackadaisical with getting this starting 5 figured out that we're now bargain bin shopping? You're bargain bin shopping investment-wise on protecting your number 5 overall pick. You look at the Kansas City Chiefs. They made it to the Super Bowl. Mahomes was running for his life. They identified the offensive line, held them back. What did they do? Revamp the whole offensive line in terms of trading and drafting. Herbert had one of the worst offensive lines last year. What did they do? They evaluated it. They turned around and they added, by drafting and free agency, they added Filer, however you want to say the guard from the Steelers. They added Corey Linsley, who I wanted the most for us, and they went out and they drafted Rashawn Slater. Why are we taking this for granted? What boggles my mind is Brian Flores is the defensive head coach. He, of all people, should know 2 things. 1, games are won in the trenches. 2, how easy it is to beat our offensive line. Someone asked me on Twitter today, Reason, can you explain to me what coming across a tackle's face is? Sure. You start outside, you move inside towards the gap on them with a swim move, with a counter, whatever you use. You look like you're going to go outside, you shoot inside across their face to the gap. I would have all 22 for you, but the all 22 is not available. So that is how you go across to someone's face. Now, Greg Little, I am not a fan of this situation. If you actually remember, you go back to me preaching about how we need to draft Penei Sewell, I was saying that the Panthers would draft Penei Sewell if he fell to them at 8. But instead he went at 7 to Detroit and they took J.C. Horn. And what was the reason why I said they draft him? Go back. The receipts are out there because I said Greg Little was trash. Like, I do not understand the lack of aggressiveness and the lack of urgency to pony up the cost, even if you overpay a little, for a proven right tackle in this league. Like, proven. Not some depth jabroni. Okay? Jeremiah. Sewell, this is my problem. Some of y'all don't know how to watch tape. Sewell did not get beat by Gregory Rousseau. The right guard got beat. He arced Rousseau out. The right guard got beat by arcing the Rousseau out. He gave Goff the lane to step up. Goff could not step up in the lane because the right guard got beat and got pushed back into his face. If the right guard holds his anchor, holds his block, Goff can step up and Rousseau is washed out. So that is not what happened with Penei Sewell. Like, I'm sick of these people. Like, you don't even know what you're watching and you're making comment. Like, no. Okay? And it's one play. Do y'all remember when Tristan Wirfs last year where he got hip tossed by Khalil Mack? How was the rest of Tristan Wirfs' season? Tristan Wirfs was one of a top 5 tackle in the NFL, let alone a rookie. Come on, man. Anyways, Greg Little is not that good. Like, I would rather see what we have in Larnell Coleman. Like, I would truly rather see what we have in Larnell Coleman. Like, we are not adding anyone that's moving the needle here. I don't get it, man. I like, he was good at Ole Miss, but he was vastly overrated. If you go back and I got a whole bunch of Ole Miss, I might actually do a film study on him. But because I do have a ton of Ole Miss all 22, and while Game Pass isn't around right now, I might as well. So if I'm feeling better, I might actually go and do a film study on Greg Little to show you guys exactly what's up. I just don't get the lack of urgency, man. You know what? We all know you're gonna draft. We all know you're gonna ball game. Stop with the fucking lollipops and rainbow take. Greg Little is not good, bro. Austin Jackson is not good, dude. Stop with that nonsense, bro. I saw you in Larry's chat saying Sewell got blown up, bro. What were you watching? The guard got blown up. Rousseau arced his man and washed his man up so Goff could step up. Guard got pushed back, and Goff could not step up and avoid the pressure. So, like, what are some of y'all watching out here, okay? Jesus Christ, man. Call a spade a spade. Jackson is not good. He literally almost got Tua Tagovailoa hurt on the tight window throw to Mac Hollins in preseason game 1. Go back and watch the play. I put this still up yesterday with Martin. He literally almost got Tua Tagovailoa hurt. The guy had a pressure on 20% of his snaps, pass blocking snaps. That's not good. That's not good at all. So, like, well, guess what, ball game? I'm paid to do this. I get paid by YouTube and Google, so I get paid to give my opinion. You might not, but I do. So, Jackson is not good. Jesse Davis gave you some semblance. Larnell Coleman looked better than Jackson. And now you go and add a guy who he might be he might be worse than Austin Jackson. So, this is what like this the lack of urgency by the Dolphins and the lack of aggressiveness to upgrade this position, this offensive line is scary. Cap for life, this O-line is definitely a concern. Like, definitely a concern. And now all you've done is added a depth piece. You have not gone and added anyone that's going to move the needle. And is he better than anyone we get in the 7th? Last I checked, they drafted Myles Gaskin in the 7th. Myles Gaskin is a legit contributor to this team. So I'm not even going to sit here and say he's better than anyone they could get in the 7th by any stretch. They got Larnell Coleman in the 7th. Larnell Coleman might be better than Greg Little. The only difference is he went to UMass. He didn't go to a big school like Ole Miss. Dude, this is not a good. Yeah, I know you meant O-line, Sean. I just gave you an example. They got Larnell Coleman in the 7th. Larnell Coleman in his first reps showed me more than what Greg Little showed at the NFL. And this is just a waste. This is just a waste, man. I'm tired of these reclamation projects. Like, seriously. Philip Leduc, $5. AJ has been aggressing or defense started to figure him out. What O-line would you want? Free agency and reasonable trade. Swell should have been the pick. I've said this before multiple times. Give me Schwartz or give me Wagner. I got Madden yesterday. The first thing I did was sign Mr. Schwartz, and then I turned around and I signed Russell Okung. Now Russell Okung, different between getting Okung in Madden in real life because he's been injured a lot lately over the past 2 years. So, and here's the thing: a lot of you haven't even seen Greg Little play. A lot of you watch Austin Jackson, but you don't know how to break down film and the things that he's doing wrong. I've watched Austin Jackson since USC to now. Same guy. Same exact guy. So, I'm just saying. Like, I think it legitimately, Coleman's got a few things to clean up. I think he could give Austin Jackson a run for his money at that starting left tackle job. And I think he could bury Greg Little further down the depth chart. Because what are you going to all of a sudden tell him to play right tackle? You got 3 weeks until the season starts. This is a guy that has never played a rep at right tackle. At least Liam Eichenberg, when he arrived at Notre Dame, was in a competition for right tackle, so he had reps at right tackle. There you go, Salvin Ahmed in the 7th. So there are gems you can find. No, Bleezy, Greg Little is not a good player, and I'm about to show you guys exactly why. Let's get into it. Now, Brian Burns. I'm going to show a few practice reps, and then I'm going to show you clips from a game last year where he got benched for Trenton Scott last October. So let's take a look. Let's get into this. We're going to all right. So here's Brian Burns one-on-one with Greg Little. All right. This is at practice. I got 2 practice reps I want to show you. Look, all he does is counter the club, come across his face with a swim move, and look at how easily Greg Little is beat. Put him on his knees. That is not good. By any stretch of the imagination, is that good? All right? I got more for y'all. Don't think I'm done there. All right? Here is Brian Burns again off the edge. Watch, Greg Little's the left tackle in this rep. Look at him just blow past them. Like, just blew past him like it was nothing. Like, that is not a good rep. Right past him. Goodbye.
Hey, nice.
Look at that. And his feet are supposed to be the strong point of his game. At least that's what it looked like at Ole Miss. He's so fast, all he does is lunge forward to try and shove him, and he can't get anything on him. He's gone. Disgusting. Disgusting. Okay? Let's keep going. I ain't done. Last October, he got benched. And I'm going to show you some of the highlights. Well, I guess we could call them lowlights of why he got benched last year. It's not good. So, we'll indicate him with an arrow and everything for you guys, so you guys can know who it is. Look at that. On an island, he didn't even pick up a man. Look at this. Look at this first rep. Look at this first rep. He's supposed to pick up. He doesn't even look towards his outside shoulder. PJ Walker's in the game, for those of you. Teddy Bridgewater's in the game. Look at it. Look, the tight end chipped, and he doesn't even pick up the man from the second level. He's not even looking at the second level.
Pressure on Bridgewater on a blitz in 25.
Okay? Terrible. Now, again, he is the left tackle. Again, edge player lined up right over his nose. Look at how... Are you kidding me? Look at how easily he went in on him. Look at how easy he got inside on him. Look at that. Look at the hands. Like, this is the worst set of hands I've ever seen in my life. Look at this. Look at that.
Bridgewater
he didn't even have to swim past him. He did not even have to swim past him. Oh, this is even better, this rep. You guys are going to love this one. Here's one for you, too. Look at that. Just gets look how he just gets swimmed aside right there in the last rep. Austin Jackson looking pretty damn good right now, ain't he? Jesus. All right, let's watch this last rep again because it happened so fast. Look. Just swats the hands away and moves across them into the inside. Like, easy money. Easy absolute money against him. Now, I get it's a 7th round pick, and hey, you never know, right? But I'm telling you right now, do not expect anything. And I'm telling you that, so if you get anything, you'll be pleasantly surprised. Okay? Greg Little is not good. All right? He is not good. And I'm not here to blow rainbows up your ass. I'm not here. Sunshine, lollipops, everything's going to be okay. Pat you on the head. No, when you come to me, there's a reason why they call me the real reason on Twitter. Because I give you the realness. I tell you what you need to hear, even if sometimes you don't like it. I don't tell you what you want to hear. Okay? So I don't want anyone sitting there telling me this kid's good. This kid has a ton to prove at the NFL level and with the Miami Dolphins. He's not very good. Period. And injuries have stunted his growth and stunted. Tech me out. Did I see anything on tape? He had a good rep against Arizona where it was a screen rep and he pancaked someone, but it was a DB. Why do I want to show y'all him pancaking a guy who's like 190 pounds? I want to show you him going up against the big boys. He's not that good. He's just flat out not that good. So, and the scary thing is they thought he was good enough. You know, I'm telling you, Larnell Coleman, they drafted him in the 7th round. I think he's going to be better than Greg Little. Dylan asks, why is Greer thrift shopping when it comes to the O-line? Because they didn't get any real sniffs or bites when they dangled Jakeem Grant out there. So, yeah. I'm just saying. Look, show me. I'd rather the reps go to Larnell Coleman. Show me what Larnell Coleman has. And you want to send a message to Austin Jackson? Bench his ass and start Larnell Coleman. It's the preseason. What do you got to lose? It's not week 1 of the regular season. And, you know, this has been a long ongoing problem for the Miami Dolphins in terms of getting this offensive line right. Really, other than the unicorn year, we haven't been able to get a solid 5 out there on the field consistently. So, yeah. I'm just Jakeem Grant was being dangled in trade packages for an offensive lineman. That's what he has to do with the offensive line and the way they draft their offensive linemen. Vince for life, why do you think the second team All-Pro punt returner was returning punts more than anyone else? Why do you think that was? I put it on the Patreon. Let's see if you can decipher why he was out there so much when you already know what you have with him and his ability to return punts. Do a little deduction. You're going to find the answer. So, it looks like eventually your dreams are going to come true, and I am going to apply for a scouting position at the Miami Dolphins because they need some help, especially with this offensive line. Hey, I'll be on offensive line specialist for them, man. I don't even need $100K a year. Hit me with $80K. I'll turn this offensive line around in. Give me a year. I'll turn this thing around. Give me a year. I'll turn this around. Seriously. I'm just saying, man, this is not a good situation. So don't. Fins for life. What the fuck are you talking about, dude? They had him out there on punt returns in a preseason because they were auditioning him so they could try and trade him for an offensive lineman. Also, 2 + 2 is 4, in case you didn't know, bro. Good God. Jesus. Come on, man. Do simple math here. Anyways, do not know what they're doing. Well, and you're right there, Fins for life. The organization does not know how to draft offensive linemen. You're 110% right on that one. 110% right on that one. So, yeah, I just, why even bother making the trade? Like, why even waste the resource? You know what? Like, why? Show some aggressiveness. Pony up some legitimate draft picks and get someone who is proven and capable. If you can't draft them, which we're seeing they can't, if you can't draft them, go spend the capital and trade for them. Or, when free agency comes around, pony up the money. If you can't draft it, pony up the capital for proven commodities. I'm fine with that. Because the problem with this is, and what people are failing to realize here, all right, we don't have time to wait around for these picks to hit on the offensive line. Our defense is ready. Our quarterback is on a trajectory upwards. Our receiving core is ready. Our running game, it can suffice with a great offensive line. It can get the Salvin Ahmed and Gaskin can run amok. This offensive line has potential to be what holds us back. Everything around us is ready except the offensive line. And guess what? The passing game and the running game go as far as your offensive line takes you. Yes, Kevin, you're right. Special teams is even ready. Special teams is locked, loaded, ready to go. And Fins for life, I wouldn't even have made the trade for Greg Little because I have Larnell Coleman. I'd rather see what Larnell Coleman has me. But this is the frustrating thing for me. They spent all this money on depth on the defensive side of the ball. They paid Will Fuller $10 million, and then they turned around and they drafted a wide receiver at number 6. Like, come on, man. Stop bargain bin shopping on the offensive line. Because that could be what holds us back. And if we're sitting here next offseason being like, fuck, we could have went to the AC Championship if we had a better offensive line, that's going to sting. Because you know why? That's another year off the combination of Byron Jones and Xavier Howard. Bernard McKinney is about to be a free agent because they lopped 2 years off of his deal. That's another year into the rookie contract of Tua Tagovailoa. Will Fuller's a free agent. DVP will probably be moved off of. Everything is ready except the offensive line right now. And Todd Beards nails it. Look at how many premium positions we have on rookie contracts right now. That's why we can afford to give Byron Jones and Xavier Howard as much money as we do. Emmanuel Ogbah's got to get paid. Like, this is what we are ready to win If you give us a top 15 offensive line, this team can go to the AFC Championship. Martin donates $5. He said a quality offensive line transformer, young offense. Ask the 2016 Dallas Cowboys. Dude, look at Zeke. His best year. Why was the transition easy for Dak taking over for Romo? Because he had studs in front of him. Josh Jacobs. Look at how good Josh Jacobs was as a rookie with that Las Vegas Raiders offensive line in front of him. You're 110% right, Sujay. I agree with everything you just said right there. I'm just saying, if Mitchell Schwartz was healthy and you went out and signed Mitchell Schwartz, and then you traded for, I don't even need a Pro Bowl left tackle. Give me a quality left tackle, okay? Give me a quality. It doesn't have to be Pro Bowl. You get me a quality left tackle, and you sign Mitchell Schwartz, and he's ready, and he's healthy, and he's back to what he was. And then your interior guys are your rookies, are your sophomores with Hunt and Kinley or Eichenberg. Well, I don't think Eichenberg's a guard, but Kinley or Eichenberg, and then Dieter in the middle. That offensive line can take us places. You know why? Because those veteran tackles are going to make Kinley or Eichenberg, I think Kinley, and Hunt their job 100 times easier. Picking up stunts, communication, everything, recognizing disguises. It's going to be a whole hell of a lot easier. Philip LeDuc, who would you draft? Evan Neal or Kenyon Green or Jackson Kirkland or others? I agree. We fixed the O-line. We beat Buffalo for the AFC Game of Thrones reigns. Listen, there are a ton of tackles coming out that I like. So I like Evan Neal. Yeah, I like Jackson Kirk and Kenyon Green. Yeah, they're okay. I like that kid out of Miami. His name's slipping me right now. What's his name? The kid for the Hurricanes. He's a tackle. Is it Nelson? Zion Nelson, I believe his name is. Yeah, Zion Nelson. I like Charles Cross out of Mississippi State. My boy, I've been talking about him for 2 years now. I love Abraham Lucas out of Washington State. I think he could be a fantastic right tackle for us. Center, I like Linderbaum from Iowa State. Jared Patterson from Notre Dame is very, very good as well. There's a lot of talented, and also Daniel Fallell. He's 6'9", 400 pounds. From Minnesota. I watched a lot of them. I've watched them grow right before my eyes because you guys know I loved Bateman last year, and then the year before that, I loved me some Tyler Johnson. So there's a lot of quality tackles. You also got Rasheed Walker coming out of Penn State. He's pretty good. So there's some good tackles coming out. There's some good tackles. Sean Seeger. $9.99 never said he was good right now. Honestly, I never knew much about him coming out, but at 23, I was hopeful. But thank you for the further context on the praise share. Appreciate all you do. Listen, look at EJ. I was EM Dolphin fans in the chat right now. I was one of the biggest Sam Cosmi guys out there. Estefan is a Texas Longhorn fan. I was bragging to Estefan about Sam Cosmi, and Sam Cosmi is looking real good in camp right now. And that's a guy who's legitimately got snaps at right tackle and left tackle. Sam Cosmi would have been perfect for this offense. Absolutely loved him. So, I mean, I don't know, man. I just don't know. It is what it is. It is what it is. I'm going to tell you right now, if this offensive line either holds this team back from being successful, or God forbid, knock on wood, my quarterback gets hurt because of this offensive line, you best believe I'm coming for some asses. Zim Zim asks a real good question. Does Richmond Webb have 17 games left in him? I'm going to have to ask him, bro, because we're getting to that point where Richmond might have to. I cannot wait to talk to Richmond on Thursday when we record the finish line. I might even call him tomorrow. EJ, I wouldn't write off Eichenberg. In fact, you want me to go even further? I would give Larnell Coleman or Eichenberg starting reps at left tackle before Jackson and send a message. Send a message. I want to see what Eichenberg can give me at left tackle. Because if Eichenberg can offer me more and Jesse Davis has to be the final solution at right tackle, then it is what it is. So, it is what it is, man. Joe, go back, just rewind a bit, and I showed you some clips on Greg Little and why I'm not a fan of the trade. I mean, I get they gave the 7th-round pick, but that's the one pick, that's the one region this regime's proven they can hit on. Myles Gaskin was a 7th-round pick. I know we acquired Salvin Ahmed, but he was a 7th-round pick, I believe. Larnell Coleman looked like he can be serviceable, and he was a 7th-round pick. Now, Jared Dokes, I don't know about that after what I saw on Sunday, but let's see. Saturday, sorry. Let's give him time. But kick Liam to left tackle, man. Fuck it. What do you have to lose? Yeah, exactly, Raphael. Bet the house that Kinley can play guard. Him and Eichenberg next to each other. Boom. Let it roll. See what you got. It's the preseason. Why not? Why not? What do you have to lose at this point? Let's be honest. What do we have to lose at this point? All right. That's enough on that. I'm so mind boggled that they'll focus on, spending on depth on the defense. I mean, did we need a pass rusher? Yes. But what did we need more? Christian Darrisaw or Jalen Phillips? I'm just saying. Christian Darrisaw was even on the board. So, it is what it is. Can't cry over spilt milk. They made their selections. Now we can disagree with their selections and we're not even using hindsight. So, if this shit don't work out, remember who's the one warning you. So, I'm just worried. Austin Jackson, if you guys remember the rep last year against the Kansas City Chiefs, Austin Jackson stepped onto his foot. Now you got a rep in the preseason where he almost takes off to his leg. This is stuff to worry about. All right? And this is why I'm worried. All right? Guess what? Who do you want to name in this community? I've watched more film on them, on Austin Jackson, than they did. Why? Because I got the access to it. I've seen this kid. I know what we got. Just like, what did I say when we drafted Robert Hunt on TD Finstock when he asked me for my evaluation? I said, this guy can be an all-pro at guard. They kicked him out to tackle. Now they moved him to guard. They're not moving him out of guard. Why? Shad's reported. Barry Jackson's reported it. Because the word out of camp is they think he can be a Pro Bowl all-pro at guard. Who was telling you that 790 days ago? This guy. All right? So, trust me. I know what I'm watching. I'm not an idiot. Not an idiot when it comes to the offensive line. I was the only one last October in this community in October 2019 telling everyone Tristan Wirfs is the best tackle in this draft. Just saying, have that one work out. My number 2 was Jedrick Wills. They moved Jedrick Wills from right tackle to left tackle. How'd that work out? Number 2 tackle last year in terms of rookies, easily. So I'm just saying, this is not bragging. This is not patting myself on the back. This is showing you I am credible when it comes to talking about this. I'm not some jabroni coming up here and filling your asses with rainbow sunshine and lollipops and false information. I'm telling you what the deal is. And trust me, I'm Dolphin fans in the chat. I wished I was wrong about Jackson. The problem with Jackson was they figured him out on tape. Bradley Chubb figured him out. And you can even go back to my pregame show, Broncos, Dolphins. Someone asked me, something Santana asked me, what's my biggest concern? Bradley Chubb against Austin Jackson. How'd that work out? This is the problem. Even before the bone marrow, Jackson still has these same holes in his game. Why do you think Kyle Krabs and Locked On Dolphins retweeted my tweet about this? He got the same holes and same deficiencies that he's had since USC. Because we've had nothing. And it goes down to coaching too. We've had a Ferris wheel at the offensive line coaching position. And that, you can't have that. We had Bill Callahan, me and EM talked about this. You had Bill Callahan out there, one of the best offensive line coaches in the NFL, and they decide to give the job to a rookie. Now, Coach Lem could be the next great thing. That's cool. But I haven't seen it yet. Let's put it that way. So, this is a problem where you're going through offensive coordinators and you're going through positional coaches like they're hot potatoes. That's a problem. It ends up biting you in the ass. It is what it is, man. I had Austin Jackson as my OT 10 in that class. And I stand by it. So it is what it is. I would have taken Cesar Ruiz there. I wouldn't even have played. I mean, it is what it is, man. They did what they did, and we got to live with the consequences. And our quarterback has to live by the consequences, and that's the worst part about it. And the running back room has to live with the consequences. So, hey, it goes back to what Ballgame says. Ballgame's 110% right. Coaches are stubborn. They think they can develop anybody. And that's just how it is. He's 110% right on that. And this is why we've went from Isaiah Wilson to now Greg Little. 2 reclamation projects in a row now. 2. God forbid Greg Little starts sipping lean, smoking vapes, and dancing on BMWs. God forbid. Anyways, let's keep it rolling. It's just so frustrating because any coach will tell you, any player will tell you game are won and lost in the trenches. And no one knows how to beat this offensive line better than our defensive-minded head coach. But it's keeping a patch job. And whoever is in the scouting room, whoever is evaluating the offensive tackle, because I'm not going to put that on Brian Flores by any stretch of the imagination. So whoever's evaluating the offensive line, your ass needs to go out of here. And what's even crazier to me, and just my final thought on this whole thing, Reggie McKenzie is in the front office. And, Reggie McKenzie helped put together that offensive line with the Raiders. That's what's boggling to me too. So, I don't know. It is what it is. I will be 4Ps whenever it opens up. You damn right. Sean, what are some options still available? Mitchell Schwartz is out there. Ricky Wagner's out there. Okun's still out there, but I wouldn't touch him because he's been injured a lot over the past couple of years, right? Mitchell Schwartz just had this back injury. And then trade-wise, you're going to At this stage in the game, you're gonna have to overpay. But at the rate these guys draft, and this isn't even just this regime. Other than 2016, and drafting Pouncey and drafting Tunsil, look at how Juwan James worked out for the Denver Broncos. Like, he made more money in playing injured than he did playing healthy. You know what I mean? Brandon Albert was a free agent. You know what I mean? They didn't draft him. So this is like a 15, 20-year problem here. This isn't just stuck to this regime. So, I mean, I don't know. Philip, no worries, reason. Those developmental projects will bloom when their rookie contracts expire. All good career. That's the luck, bro. That's the luck. Donald, reason 2 questions are Austin Jackson's issues due to youth and experience and poor technique. He's never been fundamentally good. His whole selling point was his athleticism and his feet. But when you get up to the waist, when he doesn't have a strong anchor right now. He's not strong at the point of attack. Terrible hand placement. So, yeah, that's where he's at right now. Do we still believe? Listen, Sewell was my OT1. Everyone knows that. The train choo-choo started on the channel. But Waddle was my wide receiver 1. I told everyone if they're going to draft a receiver, this is the guy you take. All right? So when they stayed at 3, I was like, they're going to take Sewell. When they traded back to 6, my whole narrative changed because I'm like, why would they move back the top tackle? You know what I mean? And potentially lose it to the Bengals. So that's when I got on board. Okay, they're taking a receiver when they traded back. Sewell should have been the pick. Sewell should have been the pick. But I think Waddle is going to be the best receiver out of this draft class. And Tom Beards is right. Jackson can't win with physical talent anymore. Now it's about fundamentals and technique, squaring your hips up with your shoulders, getting square to your man. You know what I mean? Proper hand placement so you can lock in those vice grips. It now becomes a nuanced game at the NFL, right? Like the honest to God truth is you're no longer in the Pac-12. All right. You weren't even in the SEC. You're not in the Pac-12. You are now playing with the big boys. And these guys want to take your ass and they want to feed their kids off your ass. Pause. That's just what it is. So personally, what I would have done was I would have drafted Sewell, and then I would have turned around. I would have taken my boy Rashad Bateman, and then at 36, you could have either gotten a pass rusher or you could have stuck the course Holland, and then that 50th pick we could have got Creed Humphrey, and you added Creed Humphrey and Sewell to this line. And then, even though they're rookies, they're the cream of the crop at their positions as rookies, so I would have felt a lot better. So it is what it is. It is what it is. I warned everyone about what Austin Jackson was. I warned everyone. Just said I didn't have 5,000 subscribers back then. You can go back and watch my big board, though. OT10, baby. All right. Let's get into this. We haven't even, an hour in. I haven't even touched training camp and stuff yet. So, I mean, hey, what can you say? What can you say? It's all now they have to pan out, and I don't have the most faith in the world. So they have to show me, right? Yes, Miami. I will give Greg Little this. He's better than Adam Pankey. So there you go. There's a win in his column today. All right. Let's keep it rolling right now. From practice, here is and I got some video highlights to go over. Here's the Miami Herald from practice today. Dolphins coach Brian Flores said Tuesday that the loss of receiver Al Hearns is unfortunate. He will be placed on injured reserve, which would end his season unless he reaches an injury settlement and is released. So there you go. So it's either you sit out the year or we got an injury settlement. That's the way that they're going to shave that money off the cap. So I'm down. I'm here for it, baby. I am here for it. Every single minute of it, I'm here for it. All right. Continuing on, Hearns will miss 3 months with a wrist injury that will require surgery, according to source. Allen was having a good camp, Flores said. We're going to end up placing him on IR. It's unfortunate freak play. If he's placed on IR before the regular season starts, he cannot play for the Dolphins this season unless he's released with an injury settlement and resigns with Miami at some point this year. He could also sign with another team if the Dolphins eventually release him from IR with an injury settlement. Meanwhile, receivers Devontae Parker, Will Fuller, and Albert Wilson remain out, even for Tuesday's walkthrough, but Flores said they're getting closer. And now I've talked to people with Will Fuller, and I've just been told there's no rush. You know, I've been told there's no rush to get him back. So, because he's not playing week 1. So he said the 3 wouldn't do a lot in joint practices against Atlanta, even if they're available. Parker hasn't missed much of camp with a hamstring injury. Fuller has missed nearly all of camp. Wilson has been out a week. Preston Williams remains on PUP after November foot surgery. Flores addressed other issues in his situation press briefing. Rookie linebacker Jalen Phillips, who has missed most of the 10 practices, will be out there today, Flores said. We're trying to work guys back. We will take our time and not have any setbacks. Jalen will be out there. We plan on working him against Atlanta. As a young guy, he needs the reps. But at the same time, we have to be smart about our plan of working him back. Phillips, who has a lower body injury, did not play against Chicago. Flores on this group of running backs. We're going to use them situationally as best fits their skill set and what's best for the team. Myles Gaskin can play first, second, third down, but depending on the situation, we may put another player in there. Malcolm Brown is a little bigger. What you may consider a power back. Myles has a change of pace, good quickness. Salvon Ahmed has good speed coming out of the backfield. They've all played well in the preseason game, so he's hinting towards a running back committee, obviously, Patriot way. On Tua Tagovailoa's development and navigating the pocket, that's part of quarterbacking, setting up in the pocket, slide in the pocket to give yourself better throwing lanes. He has a good feel for that. He's aware of that. There are good rushers in this league, so you have to stand up and slide. As far as play calling, Flores said it makes sense for quarterback coach Charlie Fry to convey the play to Tagovailoa, even though it appears co-offensive coordinator George Godsey is calling the plays. I'm smiling because all of you Patreons, who gave you that information first? I gave you all that information last night. Did I not? Just saying. Before any play, somebody's watching the front, somebody's watching the backside, Flores said. So there's a lot of dialogue. Somebody gives Charlie the call, and Charlie says something such as wristband 33 to Tagovailoa just before the play. So Tagovailoa has only one voice in his ear in his headset, and that's Charlie Fry's. Why is Flores not revealing who's calling the plays, even though it appears to be Godsey and not offensive coordinator Eric Studesville? And he said, we just try to keep things internal, Flores said. Asked by a reporter what they gained from that, Flores said, what do you guys gain from that? So he's just, he's trying to get another competitive advantage. By the way, go ahead and join the Patreon because I've got inside info that I post that ends up coming right all the time here. So shout out to the Patreon. And you can look for the description below. Actually, let me put it up. That That's how you can go join the Patreon. It's also in the description down below. You can also join and become a member of the channel. Both will have early access to my film studies when the All 22 returns to NFL Game Pass. All right. So live blog Tuesday session will be a walkthrough here. So it's not practicing in addition to Parker, Preston Williams and Wilson. Jesse Davis did not practice today. That's because congratulations to Jesse Davis. Him and his wife had a baby, so congratulations to them. Vince Beagle is in a walking boot. Isaiah Ford did not practice. Jalen Askew and Javaris Davis and Ethan Carter did not practice. Offensive lineman Liam Eichenberg returned to practice after missing one session in Chicago preseason games. With Davis out on Tuesday, Eichenberg opened practice at right tackle after spending the previous 10 practices at left guard. Solomon McKinley opened as the first-team left guard after starting Saturday's game there. Eichenberg spent May and June in the first 3 camp practices at right tackle. Brandon Jones, out more than a week with an ankle injury, was back on the field, but limited and not participating in 11-11s. Hunter Long is wearing a brace on his knee, but walking around fine. Phillips is not only back at practice, but working with the first-team defense in walkthroughs. Now he's doing some one-on-one work with linebacker Landon Roberts, who remains on PUP. Jason McCourty opened ahead of Javon Holland with the first team at safety, which was also the case Saturday against Chicago. Holland got some first-team work. Noah Benogany, who was banged up in the Bears game, was dressed in uniform for practice, but did not participate in the drills. And to take it even further, apparently he didn't work with the ones today during the walkthrough. All right. Now I got a couple little articles here I want to go over from the Sun Sentinel. I got 2 from the Sun Sentinel, 1 from the Palm Beach Post. And then you know what? Let's get right into actually what some of y'all might be interested in right away. So before we keep going with training camp, the Miami Dolphins, they announced their cuts today at 4 p.m. and they waived injured Jalen Askew. They waived Jonathan Hubbard, Jerome Johnson, Tyler Mars, and Timon Paris, and they placed Alan Hearns on injured reserve. So 3 offensive linemen got cut, 2 tackles and 1 guard. I think Jerome Johnson, the UDFA out of Indiana State, has a chance at being moved to the practice squad. So there are all your cuts. Now, the next cut day is appreciate you, Daddy Dean. The next cut day is August 24th, a week from today, 4 p.m. as well. They got to get down from 85 to 80. Then the final cut day is August 31st at 4 p.m. They got to go from 80 to 53. So look at these comments. Fire Greer. Now, I don't want to fire Chris Greer. I want to fire our scouting staff. So there you go. There are your official cuts, your first 5 cuts. Nothing huge, nothing surprising. Tyler Mars and Timon Paris were late additions. Jerome Johnson, UDFA, but I think he might get moved. I think he might get moved towards the practice squad, right? Jalen Askew and Jonathan Hubbard. Hubbard, I believe, has been a practice squad player, and Jalen Askew. What's up, Reason? I'm a little late. What did I miss? Well, I ended up talking about the offensive line for like a good 40 minutes. So go back. I've got some clips about Greg Little just to give you guys some context to why I'm feeling about him. Brendan, also in the comments, I just wanted to check right now and make sure. Brendan, you're a Patreon, I'm pretty sure, right? I don't know if I've modded you. That's why I'm asking. I want to make sure, because if you're a Patreon, you do get mod access. So I want to make sure I take care of everyone who's become a Patreon lately. So like Flip City Cruise, Gary Furman, Hawaii Dolphin, Finn's Weekly. If you are a Patreon that does not have a wrench next to your name and you haven't officially been modded by me, please say something in the chat so I can make sure you're modded and I take care of you. All right. I just want to make sure you're taken care of. Okay, Tuscaloosa said he's not modded. All right, so let me just take care of that before we continue on here. Okay, guys. Again, if you're a Patreon, whether you're new or old and you're not modded, please say something in the chat, because the live chat, that's how I can make sure you're modded and taken care of. All right, there you go. Took care of you, Brendan. Oh, Flip City Cruise, you're modded now too. I just saw you comment. So yeah, if you haven't been modded yet, let me know. Mitchell Gordon, are you? Let me see. You're a Patreon. I just want to make sure. Just give me a sec here, guys. Oh yeah, you are. Okay, good. Thank you for commenting, Mitchell, so I can take care of you. All right, boom, done. All right, now let's continue on. Took care of you, Mitchell. Thank you for speaking up, bro. I appreciate it. Let's go. That's done. That's out. All right, now continuing on. I got a couple articles I want to get into, and then we'll show some highlights from the day. Okay. Esteban Eichenberg might be better than anything we got at left tackle right now. You need to give the kid a shot. It's not out on. The jury ain't out on him quite yet. He's just not a guard. They're playing him out of position. They're playing him a right tackle where he's never played before, and they're playing him at guard, which he's not. He doesn't have the anchor, and he's not built to be a guard. The guy's like 302 pounds. He's not built. He doesn't have the anchor to be a guard. All right. What's going on, Kaja? How you doing? All right. Here is from the Sun Sentinel. In between two outdoor practice fields at Miami Dolphins practice during Tuesday's walkthrough session, where Will Fuller and Albert Wilson playing catch with the Dolphins assistant. Now, I've been told both Fuller, not a rush, and Albert Wilson, they're not worried. Never worried. So, by the end of the practice, the two wide receivers, along with linebacker Landon Robbins and safety Brandon Jones, were on stationary bikes. Also, to Ballgame's defense, he's never once said Eichenberg will be a Hall of Famer. We're on stationary bikes off to the side. It looked like the tour to Miami Gardens with four of them lined up. Fuller, Wilson, Devontae Parker, and Preston Williams remain out for the Dolphins as the receiving corps continues to take hit after hit in the preseason. On Tuesday, Brian Flores confirmed that Alan Hearns was going to be moving to the IR, which they eventually made the move. So, context, if a player is placed on injured reserve before August 31st, he's stuck on that team's IR for the entirety of the season. If he's placed on IR after that date, he can return after 3 weeks. So they did it on purpose. If you actually think about it, they did it on purpose. They wanted to get him out of there. That's what the whole issue was. They wanted him out, and they just didn't want to cut him because of the cap hit. So this is a way of them getting rid of Alan Hearns without ensuing a dead cap hit. So smart move. I like it. Good job, Flo. Hearns was hoping to stand out this preseason after being on a COVID opt-out. After being a COVID opt-out in 2020, on the 2019 Dolphins, he went for 32 receptions, 416 yards, and 2 touchdowns. But, I mean, EM Dolphin fan and me and Mr. Ballgame could have made that team. Over 6 NFL seasons, 4 with the Jacksonville Jaguars, the former University of Miami product has accumulated 3,380 yards and 25 touchdowns, and actually he had a 1,000-yard season, but then the injuries started piling up. It was the season where him and Allen Robinson blew up. People remember. A lot of people forget Allen Robinson was a Jaguar before he was a Chicago Bear. Vince for life. Are you a Patreon? I see you say you're not modded. You gotta let me know if you're a Patreon, bro. If you're a Patreon, then I'll take care of you and I'll mod you. Along with Parker, Fuller, Wilson, and Williams sitting on Tuesday, which was a lighter walkthrough session for the Dolphins. Welcome to the Atlanta Falcons for joint practices on Wednesday and Thursday. Isaiah Ford did not participate, so that's 6 receivers down. We'll see about Wednesday. They're all day to day. They're working to get back. Those joint practices become pretty competitive practice. Very, very competitive practices. With guys who have been out, you kind of want to ease them back in. So if they are back, I wouldn't expect too much out of them, but getting closer, I would say. With Williams, if he remains on the PUP list beyond August 31st after starting camp on it, he would not be eligible to return for 6 games. Fins for life. Are you a Patreon? If you're a Patreon, then I'll mod you. That's what I got. So let me see if I. Fins for life. I'm just looking on my Patreon list. Give me a sec, guys. Yeah, I don't see you on the Patreon list, Fins for life. All right, continuing on. Fuller still has 1 game left on a 6-game suspension and will miss week 1 at New England Patriots, regardless if he's healthy for the opener. With a slew of top wideouts missing, the Dolphins started rookie first-round pick Jalen Waddle with Matt Collins in a 2 tight end set to open against the Bears in the first preseason game, that 12-man personnel, right? Shout out to Brendan Smith, $4.99 donation. Does that mean they're out on Hearn's contract completely? If so, that was kind of sick, and I fuck with it. I agree, bro. Yeah, they could give him an injury settlement, and they can be out. So, by the injury settlement, they get out on him with the injury settlement, right? So, I mean, and they don't take the dead cap hit. Again, Fins for life. Let me know what the deal is if you're a Patreon, because if you're a Patreon, I'll mod you, but I don't see you on the list. So, Lynn Bowden ended up leading receivers later in the game with 4 receptions for 47 yards. It's the next man up mentality, so we go out there and make the most of the situation, said receiver Gene Grant. Coaches talk about that all the time. You never know what somebody could go down in a game, and coaches call your name, and it's time for you to go out there and show them what you got. Added 4th-year wideout Robert Foster. You make the best of your opportunities. We all want everybody to be healthy. Just continue to do what I can do and control what I control. Miami also signed receiver Khalil McLean on Monday with the shortage at the position, waiving tight end Carson Meyer in a corresponding move. So that wide receiver room, the injuries are starting to pile up right now. So the injuries are starting to get real serious. All right. The next one. There you go for you guys before we get into the video highlights for today. By the way, I saw someone ask who covers Pitts. Eric Rowe. The Miami Dolphins hope that Jalen Phillips will be healthy enough to begin the 2021 season as one of the team's starting outside linebackers. But together, the medical staff has to be convinced the organization has convinced the rookie the organization to bring the rookie along slowly. Phillips has practiced sparingly the past 2 weeks because of what sources say is a mild groin injury. So there you go. We now know what the injury is for Jalen Phillips. It's a mild groin injury. So I'm guessing a pulled groin. Phillips participated in one of Miami's joint practices against Chicago's last week, but was held out the other session. Didn't participate in the 20-13 loss on Saturday to the Bears. According to Flores, Phillips will participate in this week's joint practices against the Atlanta Falcons, which begin Wednesday at 10:30 a.m., but there was no guarantee that he'll participate in both sessions or play in Saturday's preseason game against the Falcons. We just want to take our time, not have any setbacks, because groins can be finicky, right? Like groin injuries, pulls, and strains can be very finicky. Like you don't want to re-aggravate it and he has to go under the knife. He's doing everything he can to possibly do to get out there. As a young guy, he needs the reps. But at the same time, we want to be smart about our plan on bringing him back or working him back in. Depth has become an issue at outside linebacker because of Phillips' injury and the right foot leg injury that has Vince Beagle in a walking boot since last Thursday. Beagle will likely be sidelined for a prolonged period, so he might not even make the team. But the Dolphins label him as day-to-day. Whether he'll be healthy enough to participate in September 13th season opener against the New England Patriots or will begin the season on injured reserve is unclear. Beagle, a starter in 2019, missed all of last season with an Achilles tendon tear to his left foot. Andrew Van Ginkel, the other projected starter, is also nursing an undisclosed injury, but he's practiced without limitations the past few days. The injuries leave Brendan Scarlett, Shaquem Griffin, and Sam McGoveen as the only healthy outside linebackers available on the training camp roster, but the Dolphins are also working defensive end Tyshawn Render as an outside linebacker, having the former Middle Tennessee State standout transition there during the second week of training camp. It's also possible that Bernard McKinney, who the Dolphins acquired in the trade in the offseason, could be used as an outside linebacker in a pinch, but that would be a package-specific change. Liam Eichenberg returned to practice, participating in Tuesday's walkthrough at an old but new position. Eichenberg was moved to right tackle on Tuesday, returning to the position he practiced at for all of Miami's offseason program before being moved to left guard during the second week of training camp. Eichenberg, who suffered a shoulder injury during last Wednesday's joint practice with the Bears, said he's fully recovered from the injury and that his days of being held out of practices are over. Jesse Davis missed practice because of the birth of his child. Again, congratulations. So it's unclear if Eichenberg will be working at left guard or right tackle when Davis returns and Miami begins joint practices against Atlanta on Wednesday. I'm going to play wherever they need me to step in and help this team, said Eichenberg, who was replaced by Solomon McKinley at left guard for Saturday's preseason game. Injury update. Igbenogany sat out of Tuesday's walkthrough session, likely because of the injury he suffered against the Bears. Also missing practice was cornerback Javaris Davis and receiver Isaiah Ford. Brandon Jones, who was sidelined with an ankle injury he suffered 2 weeks ago, worked on the sideline with a trainer. So, there you go. Exactly, ball game. Groin injuries and hip flexors are the worst. I'd even put turf toe up there. Everyone sleeps on, I know you don't, but a lot of people sleep on how bad turf toe really is, man, and hard to come over. So I never had it, but I've seen guys be sidelined both professionally and when I played by it, like pretty seriously. So, all right. Last article before we get into the highlights from today. I got about I think 8 highlight videos. And then we'll keep it rolling. All right. All right. This is just a little bit about the whole Charlie Fry situation. Which again on my Patreon I had exclusive info yesterday that it seems Barry Jackson has hinted towards confirming. So there you go. All right. Let's see. I'll bring it all the way up for you guys. All right. I really think they're grooming Charlie Fry. So he was a good offensive coordinator at Eastern Michigan. Charlie Fry coached Tua Tagovailoa at Nike's Elite 11 camp 5 years ago, so there's an established and mutual sense of appreciation and respect. I like who Charlie is, Tagovailoa said after Saturday's game. I've known him for quite some time. I think he's a really good coach. He's personable. A lot of guys on the team like him. But, yeah, I think he's a really good coach. I think he's being groomed to eventually be the offensive coordinator for this team, if you want my honest opinion. This is relevant because Miami coach Brian Flores has chosen Fry, now the Dolphins quarterback coach, to be the voice relaying the offensive play call during the game. Wristband 33. Flores used an example of a play call on Tuesday. Flores took time to outline some of the details of Miami's play calling operation. Not that he's ready to say who the primary or final play caller is, but let's circle back to that in a while. First, let's understand what Flores wants us to understand, which is that multiple coaches are involved in a pre-snap discussion that Tua is not involved in about potential play call options based on what they have observed in between plays. Somebody's watching the front side of the play. Somebody's watching the back side. Somebody's watching the rotation coverage. So there's a lot of dialogue. At the end of the day, somebody says, hey, Tua. Or somebody gives Charlie the call, and Charlie says, hey, Tua, wristband 33, Flores said. While co-offensive coordinators George Godsey, stationed in the press box, and Eric Studesville, stationed on the field, each have input on the decisions. Flores declined once again to reveal who is the primary play caller. I mean, we just try to keep things internal, Flores said. I don't know. I guess my question would be, what do you gain by that? When it was stated that it would be helpful to know who is ultimately responsible, Flores says, I know who's responsible, and that's where we go. Would the opponent gain anything if it was stated, for example, that veteran play caller Godsey, look at their hinting, is the primary play caller? He said they may. Flores said they may. Tagovailoa said after Sunday's game that Fry was giving him the plays and that he wasn't certain whether it was from George Godsey or whether Eric Studesville, said something to Charlie Fry. It stands to reason that Studesville may have a greater input on run plays, given his background as a running backs coach. But Flores has of course stressed that Godsey and Studesville are each adept in the passing and running games. Flores says Fry is the best choice to communicate with Tagovailoa for a few reasons. Firstly, he can give Tua a play call in a few breaths. This helps in case any communication issues with the headset, which can happen in the NFL. Looking at you, New England Patriots. But perhaps more importantly, Flores believes Fry can slip in a quick bit of advice based on something they've spoken about during the week. When you're a position coach and you spend time with a player every day, you kind of have your own language, your own conversations about different plays. Flores said, hey, remember when we talked like this, or we saw this in practice? That's a different relationship or way of speaking with a coordinator. I know that because I've been a position coach and a coordinator. So the idea behind Charlie being the last or the person to give him the play call is the one or two things that they talked about in the room specific to quarterbacks. That just makes sense to me. And it does to me. I think Flores is doing a fantastic job with the co-offensive coordinators. Fry is a former NFL quarterback who called plays at Central Michigan last season. The playbook used there was similar to one head coach, Jim McIlwain, once employed at Alabama. It's another reason Fry should be a good fit for Tagovailoa. Recently, Fry praised Tagovailoa's character, intangibles, and work ethic. He cited Tagovailoa's desire to strive for perfection, even though Fry concluded nobody can reach perfection. He's a genuine person, Fry said of Tua. He's always upbeat. He doesn't get rattled. You appreciate who he is and how he comes back to work each day. In other news, and then it talks about the cuts here. And I honestly, Plump, I know you're out there and you want to know who's calling the plays. I told you who I was told, and, Shad hinted towards it here. Jackson basically told everyone who it was in his article. And that's information I gave to my Patreons early. So if you want early information, the Patreon's where it's at, baby. Yeah, I like how it's being handled. I like how they're handling the offensive coordinator position right now. I have absolutely zero problems with it whatsoever, man. So I think it's one of the better things he's done. I really do. I like it. Oh, I appreciate you, Britt. Let me take care. Let me take care of you. Fins for life again. You gotta let me know. I see in the comments. Are you a Patreon, bro? If you let me know you're a Patreon, and you are a Patreon, then I can take care of you and I can mod you. Let me take a can, Britt, and then we're gonna get into the highlights from today. All right. Appreciate you for joining, Can Britt. And I agree with Kaja, nailed it. 2 eyes are better than one. Technically, we got 3 sets of eyes if you actually think about it. So I like how this whole thing's working out. I'm happy with it. I'm totally happy. Bob Oliver said he signed up too. Appreciate you, man. Let me add you as a monitor. Vince for life. I know you said bet, but you got to let me know if you're, because I don't see you on the Patreon list. That's why I'm asking. All right, let's get into highlights. Yes, Barry, today was a walk through the joint practices. Start tomorrow. All right, let's get into the highlights from today. Again, if you'd like to donate to the channel, paypal.me/Phinside. You can also donate to the super chat. If you'd like to become a Patreon, patreon.com/Phinside the NFL. You get mod status, you get insider info, you get you're gonna get early access to my film study videos. I'm waiting for Game Pass to bring up the all 22. I'm going to be doing a Raekwon Davis one from last year. I'm also going to look at Xavier Howard's interceptions from last year. And you can also become a member and you get early access to those videos as well by being a YouTube channel member. You also get use of the custom emojis in the chat, and you also get a badge next to your name. And I've got 5 or 6 different levels of badges, so they change. They eventually, you start at our original logo and you work all the way up to the logo we have nowadays, so you go through all the different changes. Patchvibes.com, use code Phinside to save 20% off your order. I've been drinking out of this. I'm going to shout out the patrons and the members tomorrow during the training camp videos, each and every one of you guys. But shout out to each of the members and each of the patrons. I love each and every one of you, especially when videos get demonetized. You guys help out a lot. So use code REASON to save 10% off your order at backroomcollection.net. They just dropped a really cool Ricky Williams canvas. Go check them out, man. And probably Thursday, I'll drop information on the Phinside the NFL Fantasy League for you guys, okay? All right. So let's get into some more here. Mr. CW Brown, he's on the IR, so he's not eligible to play for us this season, so he's probably heading towards an injury settlement in terms of Allen Hurns. All right. Backbone, I was told the all 22 will be back in September. All right. And honestly, kind of to answer Maho's question, I would have the starters play the majority of the snaps this week against Atlanta. You know, that preseason week 3, you know, the Tuesday following that, you got to make all your cuts. So we need to see what we have with these second, third, and fourth stringers. You know what I mean? So appreciate you, Fins for life. Everyone support the channel. We have our arguments. Well, not arguments, just disagreements, but it's because we're the best channel and we're getting the best content. Appreciate you, bro. The homie Fins for life. Just because I gave him the work earlier doesn't mean I like him. I love Fins for life. He's a good dude. I like when he comes up here too. All right. So here are some of the defense, and you really see how many linebackers we're missing when you take a look at this. Not a lot of outside linebackers there. It's pretty thin as they work out and get ready. So just going through early warm-ups and workouts. All right, continuing on for you guys. Here is Iguavine, McKinney, and Munson, and what they're doing is they're practicing staying low and keeping the shoulders square. Pretty cool drill. While also working on their feet as well, obviously. Low center of gravity, keeping your shoulders square, staying nimble on your feet. Cool little drill. Continuing on. Here are Kirk Merritt, Malcolm Perry, Jalen Waddle, and Kyle Loxley all practicing ball security. Protect that football, baby. Y'all ever seen The Program? The movie with The Program? I love that movie where when he has to walk around campus with the football and he can't lose it and protect the football. Here's Jalen Phillips, Brennan Scarlett, and Griffin working on their quick hand movements and exploding out. Let me bring that back because Jalen just brings the slap. Look at Jalen bring the slap on that. That's crazy. Jalen's a beast, man. Don't worry, I got some Tua throws for you guys too. Don't you worry. Here's Zach Seiler working on his footwork, hands, and staying square. Off the snap. One more time. Zachy Seiler. Man, what a great pickup. Again, another 7th round pick, I believe, right? All right. Here is Wilkins and Ledbetter practicing getting off the snap. Todd, don't worry, I'll hit you with the wrench. Don't worry, Todd. I'll get you. I always make special exceptions for certain people. And like Jason and stuff. So I'll make a special exception for you. Don't worry, bro. I got you. I'll hit Vince for life with one too. Just let me go through these video clips here. Here is Waddle. Here's a video that Brandon Tobin released today, and it's Waddle for like a minute. So I'm gonna, before I kill you guys' ears, I muted that one. Guys, go ahead and smash that like button. There's like 450 of you in the room and only 162 likes right now. Please get me up on the like. Let's try and hit 400, man. Look how quick he is, man. Woo! Little bobble, and he made that catch. Nice throw by Tua there. He's a beast. All right, I got the single video of that Waddle throw. Here is just that single video of that Tua. Listen to Rick Ross. Ooh, right on the money, baby. One more time. Right on the money, baby. Appreciate you, Steven, for smashing the like button. And the final one here is to Mac Hollins today, to EM Dolphin fans' favorite Dolphin receiver. You got the coach. He's got the pads on the arms, and he's just trying to knock him off his stem. Tua all day, baby. All day. One more time. Boom. So, yeah. I mean, there's going to be, the next couple of days, there's going to be a lot more videos for us to go over. Yeah, Yeah, I am, Sean. I'm sick as hell right now. There's going to be a lot more for us to go over the next couple of days in terms of videos and stuff. So I'm gonna I'll take your guys' questions for the next 5 minutes, and then I'm gonna get out of here. 450 of you in the room, please smash that like button, guys. We are only like 115 away from 5,000. So if you're new here, subscribe. I see some people subscribe to me just so they can hit the dislike button. So I mean, hey, do you? Still helps the algorithm. But if you guys got any questions, I'll field questions for like another 5 minutes. Then I'm gonna get out of here, and then tomorrow after joint practice, I'll open it up to you guys. So go ahead, smash that like button, guys. Just pound it right now if you can. Pancake it, baby. So if you guys got any questions, fire away in the comment section. Did they cut the player who tackled the center instead of the running back? No, that was Jason Strobridge. He's still on the team. Red Comet. Did you hear about Watson being investigated by the FBI? Yeah, I saw that Busby came out and said that the FBI has now contacted him. So did you see Colin Cowherd flip-flopping today? Yo, bro. The last couple of days I've been seeing him flip-flop. It's ridiculous. I appreciate you, David Barry. Thank you very much. I think Storm Warrior, who was the cuts? Guard Tyler Mars, Jonathan Hubbard, Timon Paris, Jalen Askew, and who was the other one? There was one more. Who's the other one? There's one more. Jalen Askew, Jonathan Hubbard, Tyler Mars, Timon Paris. Hearns got moved to the IR, so he's not coming back. And then the last one was let me see here. Let me bring it up. And the last one was Jerome Johnson, the UDFA we signed out of Indiana State. But he might be moved to the practice squad, I think. Who's your favorite defensive Dolphins player this year? My favorite is Raekwon Davis, just because I called this guy pre-draft. If you go back to me and EM's big board, we had him at number 3, and I said this guy is Chris Jones 2.0. Thank you, JC. I appreciate you, man. Who do you think is going to shock a lot of fans, good or bad? Shock wise, I think Tua is going to shock a lot of people at how good he really is. Bad wise, I think Austin Jackson. I don't think it's going to get better. Hunter Long is not out for the season. He was back, brother. He had a brace on today at practice. CJ, AJ Kinley, Dieter, Hunt, Davis. B, AJ, Ike, Dieter, Hunt. C, AJ, Kinley, Dieter, Hunt, Ike. I think they want C, but it might end up being A. Would you rather get a proven LT left tackle and move AJ to right tackle, or get a proven? I'd rather get a proven right tackle and keep Austin Jackson at left tackle. I don't want him anywhere near the blind side. Do I think they neglected this offensive line because they're focused on Watson? No. I think this is the Patriot mindset. They think that they can get a lot out of players that are relatively projected to be high in the NFL. Stat prediction for Tua, Philip Leduc, 3,800 to 4,200 yards, 28 to 32 touchdowns, and 8 to 12 picks. Brian, what's the Grant and tackle update offer going? So far, I've heard that they haven't made much traction. Going into preseason week 2, which receivers make the roster in your opinion? Parker, Wilson, Fuller, Waddle, Mac Hollins. If they can't trade him, Jakeem Grant, because I don't think they're going to release him now that we've seen it kind of play out a little bit, right? And then Lynn Bowden Jr., 7. No, Flo hasn't lead on which will be the dress rehearsal. Jason Guzman, is Jesse Davis a viable option to play right tackle the whole season? I wouldn't want to have my right tackle the whole season, but they might not have a choice. I know you probably don't want to talk about it, but who has the most upside on the offensive line? Hunt at guard. Easy. Yes, Wilson's still hurt. From what I've been told, they're not rushing him back. He knows the playbook well, and they're confident in his chemistry with Tua. John, how far will the Dolphins go this season? Ask me at the end of preseason. Do you think they're going to showcase Waddle more this game? I just think he didn't get open enough. Is our punter solid? Yes. Yeah, I don't know about. I have Preston starting the season on the pop. That's why I didn't name him, Sujay. Didn't they have Bowden down as a running back last week? When the depth chart came out, he was a wide receiver on the depth chart. No, I did not hear that. It's a conditional 7th round pick. That's good. Thank God. Great Preston Williams. I have him on the pup to start the season. So when he's on the pup, I don't believe he will count against the cap and the roster. Does Shaheen make the 53? Yes. Jason Guzman, I'm going to do what I did last year. So I'm going to have a preseason round table. Dante Colonelli will be here. Kevin Dern will be here. Richmond Webb will be here. Going to see if Ballgame wants to come up. Going to see if EM wants to come up. I'm going to see if Dougley wants to come up. Anyways, I'm going to have a bunch of guys, and we'll go through the schedule, and we'll each give you our prediction. I did it last year. You can go and look at the video last year. Marcos, will Fuller playing this preseason? I've been told they're not rushing him. Bigger year, Holland or Phillips? I think Jalen Phillips, if he stays healthy, can have a Chase Young-like impact. Do I think Trill Williams makes this team? I think he should because he can play safety or corner. Can Tua's arm strength improve? You can always put a little zip on the ball. Like look what Tom House did with Drew Brees after the shoulder surgery. It's all about mechanics. You just got to have perfect mechanics. Reese, what's up at the Fantasy League? I'll be dropping fantasy information Thursday night. After I'll be starting Thursday at 9 p.m. So I'll be releasing information on Thursday, okay? Yeah, there's a 2-week period between game 3 and the regular season. Yeah, that's why I think you're gonna see a lot of the second, third, and fourth string players. Sorry, I should say. Will Griffin make the cut? Yes. I actually saw that, Kaja. I thought Noah had a solid game. He could have made a play on the ball if he would have turned his head instead of staring at the receiver's chest. But that's just the lack of ball stinks. I thought Coleman looked pretty good too. Is Noah a bust or is it too early to tell? Well, I mean, as of August 17th, we haven't exactly got a return back on Noah Benogany yet. So, I mean, take that however you want to take it. Am I going to MetLife TakeOver this year? I don't know yet. I got to see. Because I'm trying to get down for the Texans and the Falcons game. All right. Worst bust, Deion Jordan or Charles Harris? Deion Jordan. Yeah, Brady, I'm going to the Falcons game and the Texans game if this Delta variant holds up. Do I think the Titans have a better year than last year? Hopefully. All right, guys, I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I'm going to be back tomorrow night. Wow, you can hear my voice going right now. I'm going to be back tomorrow night, 8 o'clock. We'll recap the first joint practice. Then I will come back on Thursday night. I'll be live at 9 o'clock because I got to record the finish line. We didn't have an episode this week. We recorded it, but I didn't release it just because I wasn't happy with it. There was a lot of connection issues and stuff. So we'll be releasing an episode of the finish line this week. So, yeah. So I'll be back tomorrow night. Guys, smash that like button. Appreciate each and every one of you. And yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow. I'll open it up to you guys tomorrow for a little bit. I hope everyone has a good night. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Stay happy, healthy, safe, and blessed. As always, fins up all day, every day, baby.